There's no rule that says your type has to flow along a straight line. In this lesson, we'll learn how to add type that runs along more creative shapes. First, I'm going to take this character and paragraph panel and dock it up here to free up some screen space. Now let's go to our Chapter 7 folder and open up the file labeled Type 2. I'm going to press the F key to cycle through to the full screen mode with menu bar. We're going to talk about paths in an upcoming chapter, but I'd like to show you how to make type run along a path. Go to the Window menu, scroll down and select Paths. You can see that in this file I've already created a path titled Curve. We're simply going to click on it to activate it. I'll zoom in a little bit on the image document. With the Type tool selected, watch what happens as my cursor goes right at the intersection of this path. You can see a little double bent line icon. That means that if we click, we are going to type along this path. Okay, so we've clicked, our type is running along the path. If we need to edit the type, clean up some mistakes, we simply click with the mouse and make our corrections. And let's make this a lowercase o. Now, if I hold down the Command key on the Mac, Control key on the PC, watch what happens to my cursor. You can see that I now have a right-facing arrow. This means that I can now move the type along the path. So I'm simply going to click and drag. I can move the text all the way to the right. I could drag it back to center it in the middle of this path. If I click and drag down, I can flip and invert the type and make it go underneath the path. We'll set it back here right on top. There's another way that we can change the shape of text. I'm going to go to our Layers panel, turn off this layer, and turn on the existing layer above it. Let's scroll down so we can get a good view. Let's close this Paths panel. If I click inside this text, you'll see that we've got a text box similar to what we had in the previous lesson. But in the options bar, I'm going to go and click the Warp Text icon. Now we're going to have some options. Under Style, it's set to none, but let's go and choose the first option, Arc. You can see that it's skewing and stretching the text to fit in that shape. We can choose the amount of bend that this has. If I drag it to the left, the bend will move in the opposite direction. I can change the horizontal distortion. I can change the vertical distortion. I'm going to put all of these back to their defaults. Let's see what other styles we have. We can make this a bulge, a flag, and my personal favorite, the fish. So lots of ways that we can change how text is displayed inside Photoshop. I'm going to hit OK to commit to this change. And note that I can still click inside here and edit text. The text is still on a separate layer. Notice in the Layers panel now, the icon has changed to show that we have a warp text layer. So you can see that there are plenty of ways that we can manipulate text inside Photoshop.